eggs, and inside each egg is a baby chicken. The hen sits on the eggs. She keeps the eggs warm to help her babies grow. And I was just telling these guys that sometimes they take their beaks and push those eggs around so they stay warm on the top and the bottom. Baby chickens grow, and so that's the inside of an egg. They took an x-ray of the egg, and there's a tiny little baby chicken just starting to grow. Oh, the hard part of a chicken's mouth is called the beak. You know that. And a baby chicken has what they call an egg tooth. So you can scooch on up. Come on over close if you want. On the end of her little beak is a bump, and it's called the egg tooth because they have to peck their way out of the egg. Can you see that see the one that's inside the egg is pecking out? They have to fight their way out of that little egg to get out into the world. And when it cracks its shell with that egg tooth, and then the baby chicken leaves his shell. Does it look like that big fluffy chicken could have been inside that little tiny egg? No wonder he wanted out, right? He was squished in there. The baby chicken leaves, and now it's called a chick. The chick stays close to the hen. The chick is weak and wet. It snuggles under its mother to keep warm, and the chick dries after just a few hours. So we're seeing kind of a dry chick, but maybe one of our pictures will show us when they're first born, they're so skinny and wet. Baby, yep. Feathers keep the chick warm. The chick is covered with soft, fluffy feathers called down, and down is what keeps the chick warm. So look at how fluffy baby chickens are, and then look at the mom. They have different feathers when they grow up, don't they? So they're going to change. These little baby feathers are going to fall off. That's called molting when they lose their. The chick finds food. This chick pecks around the ground to look for food. It eats insects and seeds. So little tiny bugs and little seeds they find on the ground. The chick grows. Oh, look, he's getting more white. The chick grows for a few weeks, and a chick's down begins to fall out. The adult feathers grow, and adult feathers are not as soft and fluffy as the down was. Remember, they were so fluffy. Hello, chicken. The chick has grown up, and now it turned into a big chicken. That looks so different from that, doesn't it? So that's a chicken. So here we have another kind of egg. You're going to have to guess on this one. Are you ready? Get your thinking caps on. Whose egg? My egg is emerald green. It lies like a jewel in dry red land. I will hatch with wings and feathers, but I will never fly. Here's a hint. What am I? See him peeking out? What do you think that would be? A bird that has feathers but never flies.
Ostrich.
Yeah. Oh, here. I have 2 pages to open. Oh, look, it's an emu. It's kind of like an ostrich, but it's called an emu. I will grow tall, and one day I will run swiftly over the red desert. So almost like an ostrich. My egg is tough and leathery. Look at the clue here. What did you say? Let's see. My egg is tough and leathery. I call to my mother from a warm, earthy nest. I will hatch with yellow stripes and needle-sharp teeth. I have scaly claws and snapping jaws. If it's a rattlesnake, does it have sharp claws? No, it's something else. What else could it be? Alligator or crocodile. Let's see. I'm an alligator. You were right. I grow big and strong, and I'll swim in the swampy water. I will lie low and lazy in the hot sun. So their eggs are kind of leathery. They're not hard like the eggs that we're used to having for breakfast. My egg lies high and dry on a nest of silver stones. Does that seem like a soft nest?
I know.
What is it? A penguin, you're right. I will hatch with fuzzy feathers, but one day I'll wear a bathing suit. Hi, come on in. You know what? Come on over here. It's a lot closer to the pictures. Hello, glad you're here. We're guessing what is in this egg, and they guess that this egg has, what do you think that is?
penguin.
That's what they were guessing too, a penguin. I will waddle, hop, and belly flop across the ice and snow. I will jump into the water with a splish, splash, splash. Swoop. My egg is creamy white. It sticks to this wide green leaf. I will wiggle and crawl when I hatch, but one day I will fly. Who am I? Whose egg is? It's a caterpillar, and what's the caterpillar going to turn into?
A butterfly.
A butterfly. Anybody know what kind of caterpillar that is? What? A monarch, yep. I'm a butterfly. I wave my bright wings in the sun to dry. I will flap and fly and flutter by. So there we go. You guys are good. You're getting all these. My egg lies warm and dry on a riverbank burrow. I hatch from an egg, but I have a fur coat and I drink my mother's milk. Whose egg? A platypus. Let's see. It is. You guessed it. I breathe air through my duck-billed snout. I use my webbed feet to dip and dive in the water. That's a platypus who comes from an egg, but he's furry and he drinks milk from his mother like a mammal would. My egg lies on mossy ground. I will hatch hungry. I will slither and slide and hunt for food. Who am I? I am a snake. My coils are the color of Indian corn. I strike, squeeze, and swallow. Hiss. Who said ooh? Is that you? You don't like snakes? Oh, we like snakes at the Grimes farm because they eat the mice. So we're glad about that. Did you know in Iowa we don't have any snakes that will hurt you? We don't have any poison snakes in Iowa. So you don't have to be afraid of snakes here. Not in Iowa. Or not in Marshall County, I should say. There might be a few on the Mississippi River, kind of up north, but not in Marshall County. So if you see a snake, you don't have to worry. It won't hurt you. Okay, here's another clue. My egg is buried in warm golden sand. A turtle. I hatch with scaly flippers and a smooth shell. I scuttle and scoot toward the shiny sea. Whose egg am I? A turtle. I will swim far across the wide, wavy ocean. I will sunbathe on the sandy shores. Look at those little guys hatching. You know, their mothers, baby, yeah, they lay a big bunch of eggs, and a whole bunch of turtles hatch at the same time, and they all have to get from their nest, which the mom hid kind of back in the grass, and they have to go all the way across a lot of land to get to the ocean. And they have lots of trouble getting there because sometimes they have to cross a road and cars bother them, or sometimes there's other animals like birds or hawks or some other animal that wants to eat them. So those little tiny babies have a hard time getting to the water. But when they get to the water, they're usually safer. All right, so let's see the next one. My egg is a speckled globe. It lies like a treasure among scattered shells. I hatch with fluffy feathers and a peeping, piping call. Some kind of bird, I bet. It has feathers and speckles.
A parrot?
Maybe. Let's see. That lives in the ocean. I am a plover. That's a water bird. You can tell when birds are water birds because they have long legs to keep them up and out of water. That way they can go wading and not get their feathers wet. I will run in stops and starts on my long yellow legs. One day I will lay my own polka-dotted eggs. Okay, I think we have, nope, that's all. That's the end of our story. Well, you guys are good guessers. You're good egg guessers. So now I have a funny story that I got at the library, and it doesn't have any words. So we're going to have to tell the story by looking at the picture. Is this going to be a true story? Mm-hmm. Why do you think?
Because he finds a real egg.
Because and eggs are a real thing, aren't they? Yeah. This story is about a little teddy bear. Are teddy bears real animals?
Yes.
No, teddy bears aren't real. But he did find a little egg. So let's see what happens in this book. Remember, we have to make up our own words.
Bears are real.
Yeah, bears are real. That's right. Hank finds an egg. I think I lost here we go. So here's Hank, and he found an egg. It's on the forest floor. So it's not going to be one of those beach animals. It's not going to be like a turtle or a plover.
Maybe like a bear?
Well, bears don't come in eggs. Bears are born.
They're in forest.
They're in bears live in the forest. That's a good guess. So let's see what oh, look, he's going to check out the egg. Oh, but he does something that we should not do if we find an egg, and that is he touches it and picks it up.
He's going to crack it.
Yes, he might hurt it.
One time I touched the robin egg and it cracked.
Oh, yeah, they're so fragile, aren't they? So that's why we never touch them if we see them out in the forest or in the wild. Don't ever touch them because their mommy might come back and take care of them.
And they'll be mad, and they'll be mad.
Yeah, I think it scares them if they can smell that a human has touched it, they might not come back and take care of it. So we always leave it. So here he is, he's touching the egg, but look what he can't see. Where did that come from? Does it look like the egg came from that little nest up there?
Oh, maybe it's a bird.
I bet it is. And here, oh, look, he saw the nest and he's trying to reach up, but he can't reach it up that high, can he? Something.
Don't throw it up there.
No, don't throw it. Let's see what he does. He's looking up at it, and then he gets an idea. He's going to put it in a basket.
Maybe climb up the tree.
He might. Let's see what he does. Oh, look, he's carrying it around, and he's looking for something. I don't know what that is.
Probably eggs.
He's looking for something. We don't know what yet. And, oh my, his pictures are little, but he's rolling. Whatever he found, he's rolling it back.
It's like a tree.
Pine cone.
It is?
Well, no, it looks more like an eight. Oh, it's kind of looks like part of a tree that was
cut down.
Yep. Oh, look, he made a step for himself.
I knew it. I knew it.
He was using it for a tool, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But did it work? It didn't work. Let's see what he tries next. Oh, look what he built. What did he build?
A ladder.
He built a ladder. Does that look long enough to get up there?
No.
No, let's see. He still can't reach it, can he? Let's see what he does next. Oh, look, it's getting dark. Oh my gosh, it's getting so dark, and now I think he has to go home. He's supposed to be home.
He's bringing the egg.
He's bringing the egg to keep it safe, isn't he? Oh, I don't know. Oh, look at that. He's building a little campfire. He's going to camp out for the egg. Let's see. And he's still holding that little egg, and look, he's even sleeping with the little egg, trying to keep it warm. But he's not the egg's mother, is he?
That's a leaf?
Yep, he made a little leaf blanket for himself. So let's see. Now he's waking up, and he's walking back with his egg. Oh, my goodness. I bet that mother is worried, don't you think?
Yeah.
Let's see. Look, there she is. What kind of bird is that?
A
hummingbird, exactly. And she's counting her eggs and wondering, where is it? And then she sees it. Oh my gosh, little bear, what are you doing with my egg? Let's see if she can get it back up there. He puts it down. She says, put my egg down. And he's putting it down, and he's just waiting and waiting. Now he's going to rearrange it. He's still touching it. Let's see. Oh, look, he wrapped it all up. And he's going to try to give it to her.
With grass.
Yeah, with grass. Can she get it up in her nest, though? I don't know. Let's see what oh, look, she picked it up with her little beak.
Yeah, she can fly.
I thought it might be too heavy, but you're right. She's going to fly it back up and put it back in her nest. And there she is, putting it in her nest. And now she's in her nest with her 3 eggs. And the little bear's watching. He says, oh my, I am tired.
Yeah.
Taking care of an egg is hard work.
He's like, I'm
Well, I think he's happy the egg is there, but he's still interested to know what happens, right? Uh-oh, look, all the eggs are starting to hatch, and look who came out. Did it hatch?
Yeah.
All 3 little ones hatched. And look, there they fly. And she came back down to say, thank you, Mr. Bear, for saving my egg.
How does he know?
The little bear stayed there, and so
The little one?
Yeah, no, I think that, well, I don't know. Maybe the little one feels
How
like.
did he know? How did the little one know?
I don't know. That's kind of a sweet story, isn't it? So the little bear helped.
Or
But,
it's his mom.
but if we see an egg out in the woods, we shouldn't touch it because we might break it or we might not do the right thing that the mother would want us to do. So here's one about robins in your backyard. How many of you have ever seen a hummingbird in real life? Have you ever seen one? Have you? And so, but how many, has everybody seen a robin? Yeah, everybody's seen a robin.
I saw a robin egg, but not a robin.
Okay, okay. So here is robins in your backyard.
It's blue.
It's robin eggs are blue, you're right. On a frosty March morning, patches of crunchy snow lie on the brown grass. Cheerily, cheer up, cheerily, sings the robin redbreast, heralding springtime is here. Every spring, robins fly north from their southern home to nest in the land where they were born. And this is how we were just a few days ago. Remember, it snowed again? About 2 days ago, and we had robins and we had snow.
So they had like a storm before, and then one egg came down, and I was like, I see a robin egg over there.
Oh, and that's how you found it.
Yeah.
Some robins migrate over 1,000 miles in 2 weeks. To guide them, the birds use rivers, mountains, coastlines like road maps. When they arrive, the robins are tired and hungry. They scratch and poke and plunge, and the robins gulp up everything they can find to eat. Before long, the male robin claims a territory. Cheerily, this yard is mine, he sings, and his song attracts several females, but only one will choose him as her mate. So the daddy robin jumps around and dances and tries to get a wife. He wants to be the handsomest one, so all the girl robins will want to be there. Finally, he chooses one, or she chooses him, and then they start to build their nest. And you can see that they use little sticks and soft grass, and at the very end, they take some soft feathers from underneath where they're the softest, and they put even soft feathers inside, so it's really warm and really soft for their babies. And then, what did we hear? They're blue, aren't they? Just like several days have passed, and now there are 3 shiny blue eggs in the nest. The eggs stay warm under the mother robin's breast feathers. From time to time, she rolls each egg to keep it warm all over so the baby inside can grow. And here's the baby. If you could look inside the egg, you'd see a tiny embryo and a yellow yolk surrounded by watery liquid. The yolk provides food for the embryo as it grows into a baby bird.
I can only see the oak. I can't like see the baby.
I know. Well, there you can see his eye. You can't really tell he's a bird yet, can you? Okay, let's see. A hungry squirrel has climbed too close to the nest. Tuck, 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 tree, cries the male robin. Neighboring robins snap their beaks and dive bomb that squirrel. They don't want a squirrel to eat their little eggs, do they?
No.
No. Chuck, 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 cries the tormented squirrel, and he scampers down the tree to look for food somewhere else. Squirrels, snakes, raccoons, blue jays, and crows like to eat robin's eggs. So those robins have to be so careful, don't they, to keep all those things away. Oh, there's the baby. 2 weeks after the robin laid her eggs, there's a tiny crack in one egg. Chip, 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 push. Crack, 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 chip, push. It's a chick using a tool on the tip of his beak. Remember that? Remember what that's called? Anybody? Yeah, his beak, and that little tiny thing on the top is called the egg tooth. And that's the little sharp thing that will fall off later, but that's how the baby bird gets himself out of the egg. But look, he hardly has any feathers.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
They look pretty ugly, don't they? And they're naked except for a few little feathers, and their eyes don't work very well. Their mommy and daddy really have to take care of them, don't they? They could not live by themselves. But luckily, the mommy and daddy take care of them and sit on them and keep them warm. And look, pretty soon they grow more and more feathers, and they get bigger and bigger, and the mommy and daddy have to feed them once every 10 minutes. Think if you had to go find a worm in your yard every 10 minutes. Wouldn't that be busy?
I found worms at my school.
Yeah, but to find one every 10 minutes and fly up to the nest, that's a lot. So let's see, nesting robins grow really fast. If you grew at the same rate, you would weigh 90 pounds by the time you were 10 days old. Whoa! At night, the babies snuggle under the mother robin's wings and her body feathers. Her mate sleeps in a nearby tree along with other neighboring male robins. Oh, and look how hungry they are. They're growing. Feeding baby robins keeps both parents busy. Every 10 minutes from sunrise to sunset, they feed earthworms, insects, and juicy berries to their hungry babies. The young robins stretch their necks, clamoring for food. Each can eat 14 feet of earthworms in one day. How long is an earthworm? About this long, do you think? So think how many earthworms it takes to get 14 feet. Oh my goodness, that's not quite all the way across our carpet here. That's a lot of worms. By the end of 2 weeks, the restless youngsters stretch and exercise their stubby wings. They use their beaks to preen their ruffled feathers. These clean, smooth feathers keep the birds warm and waterproof. The time to leave the nest has arrived. Hop, flutter, hop, flutter. There they go. They're all going to learn how to fly today. That wasn't very long after they were hatched. Learning to fly can be dangerous. Bad weather and predators like cats are the young robin's greatest enemies. Father Robin scurries about for 2 more weeks while he feeds and protects his rowdy brood. Nature also protects the fledglings. See how their speckled breast feathers camouflage them along the light dappled blades of grass? So they kind of look like they blend in with the grass there. And their mom and dad still feed them. They still feed them even while they're not always in the nest. Oh, look at that. The robin fledglings are now fully grown. They can find their own food and no longer mistake twigs for tasty caterpillars. Unlike humans, the robin's eyes are on the sides of their heads. The robin cocks his head when hunting, and then snatch, the prey is gone. So I heard that there are a lot of birds who don't like those. Remember those fuzzy caterpillars? Have you seen those? A lot of birds don't like that fuzzy stuff. But robins take them up in a tree and they kind of whop, whop, whop and get the fuzz off, and then they swallow them really quick. So.
Do they eat the fuzz?
No, they try not to. The young robins stay in their territory throughout the summer. Meanwhile, their parents build a new nest and raise another family. They have more babies. Now it's September. The young robins' speckled feathers are replaced by charcoal gray and brick red feathers like those of their parents. The shorter, cooler days tell them it's time for them to begin their journey south. So here's a baby robin. See how he has a speckled breast here? And a grown-up robin, looks like this. They don't have any speckles left. So that's how you can tell in your yard if you see a little one with speckles, you know it's just born that summer. How we miss their morning melody. Cheerily, cheer up, cheerily. Perhaps you'll be the first to hear their happy song when the robins come next spring. Now their nest is empty and they flew south for the winter. That went quick, didn't it? Okay, now let's look at, this one has some questions. Let's see if you can answer some questions for me, okay? Let's see. Meet the birds. Whoosh, an eagle lands on a tree. Eagles, peacocks, and penguins are all birds. These animals comes in many shapes and sizes and colors. And there's the bald eagle. Oh, we lost our bald eagle on the picture, but we were watching them sit on their nest. The first question is, do birds have backbones? Can you touch your backbone in the back of your neck that holds your head up and keeps you strong? Do you think a bird has a backbone? What do you think? Do they kind of stay straight?
Uh-huh.
Yes, birds have backbones. Most birds have hollow areas. Their bones are mostly hollow so that they're so light. So birds are very fragile because their bones aren't particularly solid, but they do have them. And let's see what else. What types of body coverings do birds have? You know that.
Bill, scales.
Yep, they have a hard bill or a beak,
Feathers,
right?
wings.
Feathers is what we think of. Where the scales are on their feet. Their wings. That's a parrot. Isn't he pretty?
African.
Yep.
Parrot.
How do birds eat? They use their beaks, right? Just like you use your mouth. Some birds eat seeds and fruit or worms. Do you eat seeds? Yeah, we have chia seeds and...
Seeds and tomatoes.
Yeah, that's right. And do you eat fruit? Yeah. Do you eat berries? You eat like a bird. How about worms?
No.
You don't eat worms. How about bugs?
No.
Some people actually do.
Yes, you're exactly right.
Like circles or something.
You're exactly right. Other birds hunt for fish. Do you eat fish?
Yeah.
Lots of people do. Do you eat mice?
No.
Not probably. Some places they eat mice too.
They eat pigs.
Yeah, that's right. How about snakes? Do you eat snakes? Some people eat snakes, but not usually around here. How about frogs?
No.
Some people like to eat frogs' legs. Did you know that?
Ugh.
Ooh, birds would like that.
Chicken legs.
Yeah, we like chicken legs, don't we? Where do birds live? In nests? Where else?
Forest, deserts.
Forests and deserts, what?
And we also eat fish.
And yes, I know. What were you going to say?
Desert.
Deserts, yeah.
Icy places.
Icy places, you're exactly right. They live everywhere, don't they? How do birds have their young? Are they born in a hospital like you were?
No.
No. How do they have young?
By eggs.
You weren't born in a hospital
By
either?
eggs.
You were different.
By eggs.
By eggs. They have eggs. Look at those little mouths wanting to be fed. That's a good picture, isn't it? Do birds take care of their babies?
Yes.
Yeah, they do. We heard about the robins feeding them the worms. And do you know what penguins do? Guess who takes care of baby penguins? The daddy penguin. And guess how he does it? Where do they live? Where do penguins live? Where?
They live
Do they live in a really warm, where?
snow.
And snow. They live in cold places, don't they?
Yes.
Is that a good place for an egg? No, it's too cold. So you know what they do? The daddy penguin puts his feet together like this, and he puts the egg on top of his feet so they don't have to sit on the ice. And then he has a little flap, a furry flap of kind of fatty stuff, and he pulls it over the egg and keeps it warm on his feet. Isn't that funny? The daddy does that for him. Do birds care for their young? Yes. Many birds sit on their eggs to keep them warm. They bring food to their chicks, and then they teach their chicks how to find food. Look, riding on their mommy. So we have wood duck nests at the Grimes farm. So when we walk out a little bit, we can see where the wood duck nesting place is. The staff here put up a big birdhouse for wood ducks. And so they live right by the creek. Wood ducks are beautiful, beautiful ducks with really pretty feathers. But guess how they teach their babies to swim?
Push them in.
They push them in, you're exactly right. In fact, they have a house that's kind of up above the water. And so not only do they push them in, they push them out up high, and they have to fall plunk and swim.
On a diving board.
There's no diving board. They just have to plunk. Yep. But that's how they do it. There's your ostrich. What is a cool fact about birds? Can you tell me anything neat about a bird?
They live in the desert.
Yeah, some live in deserts. Anything else? Well, let's see what our book says. Some birds can't fly. Penguins waddle and swim instead of flying. Ostriches can't fly either, but they can run really fast. And look at their knees. See how their knees are backward from ours? Instead of their legs bending like ours do, they bend backwards compared to us. Isn't that silly? And that's the end of that book. Okay, would you like to go for a walk or would you like to hear more stories?